Have you noticed how some people seem to glide into their 70s and 80s with steady energy, while others feel older than their years long before that? It often doesn't come down to one big illness or one dramatic event. Very often, it's a handful of ordinary habits that repeat day after day. They might feel small in the moment, like choosing the recliner instead of a short walk after dinner, or grabbing a packaged snack because it's easy. But over months and years, these little choices can quietly shape how strong you feel, how steady you walk, and how much you enjoy each morning when you swing your legs out of bed. If you're over 60, you probably already do a lot of things to take care of yourself. Maybe you take your prescriptions every morning with your first cup of coffee at 7 a.m. Maybe you keep your medical appointments and try to eat pretty well. But there are also habits that slip in because they feel comfortable, familiar, or simply automatic. The good news is that once you can see these patterns clearly, you often have more control than you might think. Gentle changes, made at your own pace and with your doctor's guidance, can protect years of mobility, memory, and independence. Today we're going to talk about some everyday habits that can quietly shorten your healthy years after 60. We'll look at how they show up in normal life, why they matter more as we get older, and, most importantly, what simple steps you can start taking this week. As always, everyone's body is different, and nothing here replaces advice from your own healthcare provider. But if you recognize yourself in any of these examples, it might be a helpful starting point for your next conversation at your doctor's office or with a trusted family member. Let's begin with one habit that sneaks into many cozy afternoons. One quiet habit that slowly takes a toll after 60 is staying in one position for most of the day. It might be sitting in your favorite chair with a crossword puzzle, or reclining on the couch watching a game on Sunday afternoon. Maybe you check the news on your tablet after breakfast, and then realize it's nearly lunchtime and you haven't stood up once. In your 30s, you might have gotten away with long stretches of sitting. But as we age, the body changes, and what felt harmless at 35 can make a much bigger difference at 70. When you stay in one position for hours, blood tends to pool in the legs, muscles in your hips and thighs lose strength, and joints stiffen. You might notice that after an evening in front of the television, it feels harder to stand up at 9 p.m. than it did at 6. Your knees may complain, your lower back may feel tight, and your first few steps to the kitchen might be wobbly. Over time, this stiffness can become your new normal, and it's easy to say, that's just age. But often, it's the result of hours and hours of stillness. Imagine a man named Robert, age 72, who loves his morning news shows. He tends to sit down in his armchair at 8 a.m. with his toast and medication, and before he knows it, it's almost 11. He gets up only to refill his coffee. At first, he doesn't see a problem, but over a couple of years, he notices he needs to grab the arm of the chair just to stand up. He feels more unsteady on his way down the hallway to the bathroom. His legs haven't disappeared, they've just been underused. The answer doesn't have to be athletic. You don't need to sign up for a race or a gym membership if that doesn't appeal to you. A simple change, like standing up every 20 to 30 minutes, can help. Set a small kitchen timer on the end table or use the reminder function on your phone. When it rings, stand up, march in place for 30 seconds, or walk to the other side of the room and back. If you're folding laundry while seated at the dining table, try standing for a few minutes after each pile. As always, talk with your doctor or physical therapist before starting a new routine, especially if you've had falls or dizziness. Even a few more minutes of standing and gentle movement spread through your day can help your muscles remember their job and keep your joints from getting too stiff. Another habit that quietly chips away at health in later years is not drinking enough plain water. After 60, the body's sense of thirst can become less reliable. You might not feel as thirsty as you used to, even on a warm day in July. Many older adults get to mid-afternoon and realize the only liquids they've had are 1 cup of coffee at breakfast and maybe a glass of iced tea at lunch. It's easy to mistake mild dehydration for just being tired or a little off. When your body doesn't get enough fluids, your blood can become thicker, your heart has to work harder to pump it, and your brain doesn't function quite as clearly. You might feel lightheaded when you stand up from your recliner, or notice a headache that comes on in the late afternoon. Some people feel more confused or forgetful when they're mildly dehydrated. Urine becomes darker, trips to the bathroom might be less frequent, and constipation can be more common. These are all small signals that your body is asking for more fluid. Think about a woman named Sandra, age 68, who likes to keep a can of diet soda next to her chair. She has one with lunch, one with dinner, and sometimes one while she watches her favorite crime show at 9 p.m. She tells herself, "I'm drinking plenty. Look at all these empty cans." But her actual water intake is almost nothing. Over time, she feels more sluggish, her blood pressure creeps up, and she notices more nighttime leg cramps. A simple, gentle change can help. Fill a reusable bottle with water each morning and keep it where you can see it, maybe on the coffee table or next to your recliner. Take small sips every 15 minutes while you read or knit. For many older adults, the goal doesn't have to be a specific number of ounces. It's about drinking a bit more than you currently do, within any limits your doctor has given you for heart or kidney conditions. If you need flavor, try adding a slice of lemon or cucumber, or mix a little plain water into your usual juice to gradually reduce sugar. Ask your doctor or nurse how much fluid is reasonable for you, especially if you've been told to watch your fluid intake. That way, you're not guessing, you're working together. A third everyday habit that can shorten healthy years is letting strength and balance quietly fade. Many people over 60 walk less than they once did. Maybe you used to climb stairs at work or walk the dog 3 times a day. These days, you might drive to the grocery store even if it's only a few blocks away, or use a delivery service because it's convenient. Convenience is helpful, especially if you have arthritis or pain. But when the muscles in your legs, hips, and core don't get regular challenge, they weaken more quickly with age. You might notice this when you step off a curb in the parking lot of your local supermarket and feel unsure for a moment. Or when you try to carry a bag of groceries into the house and feel like it's heavier than it would have seemed 10 years ago. Balance can also slip in small ways. A simple turn to look behind you while backing out of the driveway can feel more awkward, or you catch your toe on the edge of the rug in the hallway. Picture a man named Leonard, age 76, who used to tinker in the garage most weekends. Now that his knees hurt, he spends more time in his bedroom recliner, watching old westerns in the afternoon. Over a year or two, he realizes he now needs both hands on the banister to climb the 10 steps to his bedroom each night. It didn't happen in one day. It happened in hundreds of quiet days without much movement. The good news is that muscles at 76 can still respond to use. With your doctor's approval, simple exercises at home can help. When you're brushing your teeth in the bathroom at 7:30 a.m., try standing on one foot for a few seconds while holding the edge of the sink. When you're waiting for the microwave to finish heating your soup at noon, do gentle heel raises, lifting your heels off the floor while using the counter for support. If your doctor or physical therapist has given you specific exercises, try building them into daily routines you already have, like after you tie your shoes or before you sit down for dinner. The key is to be consistent and to stay within your comfort and safety limits. If you have severe joint pain, dizziness, or a history of falls, always get personalized guidance first. Before we move on, there's an important point here. If you're still with me and recognizing some of these patterns in your own life, you're already doing something powerful. You're paying attention. If you feel comfortable, let me know in the comments that you're watching by writing something simple like "still learning" or sharing your age. It helps me understand who I'm speaking with and what kinds of examples are most useful. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing that so you don't miss future videos made with you in mind. Now, let's talk about another habit that sounds small but can have big effects over time: a disorganized medication routine. Many older adults manage several prescriptions a day. You might have blood pressure tablets, a cholesterol pill, something for your thyroid, and maybe a vitamin or two. It's easy, especially after a busy morning with appointments or phone calls, to say, "I'll take that pill later," and then forget. Some people skip doses when they feel pretty good, thinking they don't really need the medicine anymore. Others take everything at once without checking for food instructions or timing, simply because that's the fastest way to get it done. Over months and years, missed doses or inconsistent timing can make chronic conditions harder to control. Blood pressure may swing up and down instead of staying steady. Blood sugar might become more unpredictable. You might notice more headaches, more shortness of breath when climbing the stairs, or more swelling in your ankles by the time evening rolls around. It may not be obvious that inconsistent medication use is part of the issue. Think of a woman named Joyce, age 73, who keeps all her bottles on the kitchen counter near a small plant. When things get busy, she sometimes can't remember if she took the morning pills before her 9 a.m. phone call with her sister. She doesn't want to take a double dose, so she decides to skip just this once. Those just this once decisions add up, and at her next appointment, her doctor notices that her readings are less stable than before. A small adjustment can help bring order and safety to this area. Many people find a simple pill organizer, labeled with the days of the week and times of day, makes a big difference. You can fill it on Sunday evening while you listen to your favorite radio show. Keep it in a place that matches your routine, like near your coffee maker if you take morning pills with breakfast at 7:30, or next to your toothbrush for bedtime medications. Some pharmacies will even pre-sort doses into small packets marked with the date and time, which can be especially useful if you have memory concerns. Always talk with your doctor or pharmacist before making changes to how you take medication. Ask them to review your entire list once or twice a year to see if everything is still needed. That conversation alone can help protect your energy, your heart, and your independence. Another part of this story often gets overlooked: the quality of your rest. Many people treat a good night's sleep like a pleasant extra instead of a basic form of healthcare. You might tell yourself, "I've slept poorly since my 40s. That's just how I am." Or you may stay up late watching television because the house feels too quiet at night, then find yourself nodding off in your chair at 2 p.m. the next day. Sleep patterns can change with age, but that doesn't mean you must accept poor rest as your permanent reality. When the brain doesn't get enough deep, consistent sleep, it has less time to process memories, clear out waste products, and reset. You might notice more trouble finding the right word in a conversation at your church group on Sunday morning. You might misplace your keys more often or feel unsteady when you first stand up from your bed at 6:30 a.m. Short sleep or restless sleep can also affect blood pressure, appetite, and mood. Over many years, this can quietly reduce both the length and the quality of life. Consider a man named Victor, age 79, who sits down in his living room recliner at 9 p.m. to watch the late local news. He tells himself he'll go to bed when the weather report is over. But then he watches a documentary, checks his phone, and suddenly it's nearly midnight. When he finally lies down, his mind is still racing. He wakes up several times in the night and then feels groggy through breakfast. He thinks it's just age catching up to him, but his sleep habits are playing a big role. You don't have to create a perfect schedule, but a simple evening rhythm can help. Try dimming the lights in the living room about an hour before your usual bedtime. Turn off the television at a set time, maybe 10 p.m., and switch to something calmer, like reading a light-hearted book or listening to gentle music. Keep your bedroom cool and as dark as you can comfortably manage. If you tend to nap in the afternoon, consider limiting naps to 20 to 30 minutes before 3 p.m. so you're more ready for sleep at night. Of course, talk to your doctor if you suspect sleep apnea, restless legs, or any other sleep disorder. There may be safe treatments that can improve both how you feel tomorrow and your long-term health. Let's look at another small pattern that can slowly harm your body: the tea and toast style of eating. Many older adults, especially those living alone, fall into a very simple eating pattern. Maybe coffee and a slice of toast at 7 in the morning, a bowl of cereal for lunch at noon, and something like crackers with cheese at 5 p.m. It feels easy and familiar, and it doesn't create a pile of dishes in the sink. But over time, meals that are too small and too low in protein and fresh foods can weaken muscles and bones and leave you with less energy for the things you enjoy. When your body doesn't get enough protein, it has a harder time maintaining muscle. You might notice your legs feel thinner, or that lifting a full pot of water onto the stove feels harder. If you're not getting enough vitamins and minerals from fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, your immune system may be less prepared to fight off infections. You might notice that a simple cold picked up from a grandchild at a birthday party in March lingers for several weeks. Imagine a woman named Helen, age 82, who eats the same breakfast every day, one slice of white toast with jam and a small cup of tea. She doesn't feel very hungry at lunchtime, so she grabs a few crackers. By evening, she's tired and warms up a small bowl of soup from a can. On paper, it looks like 3 meals. In reality, her body is running on very little fuel. Over months, her weight drops, her balance worsens, and she feels chilly even when others are comfortable. The good news is that you don't have to cook fancy recipes to make a difference. Small upgrades can add important nutrients. You might stir a spoonful of peanut butter into your oatmeal at breakfast, slice a banana over your cereal, or add a handful of frozen mixed vegetables into your soup at lunchtime. If you like eggs and your doctor has no objections, adding a scrambled egg or 2 a few mornings a week can boost your protein. For dinner, consider a piece of baked chicken, some beans, or a small portion of fish alongside a vegetable and a bit of brown rice. If chewing is hard, talk to your dentist or doctor about softer options and safe ways to maintain nutrition. And always check with your healthcare provider if you have kidney disease or other conditions that affect how much protein you should eat. The goal is not a perfect diet. It's a slightly stronger, more nourishing one than you have today. Another habit that drains life from later years is living with constant, low-level stress without giving yourself real breaks. Maybe you leave the news channel on all day, letting one worrying story after another fill the background while you cook, fold laundry, and pay bills at the kitchen table. Maybe you go to bed thinking about your adult children's problems or medical bills from last year's hospital visit. Over time, your nervous system never truly rests, even when you're sitting still on your sofa. Chronic stress can raise blood pressure, interfere with sleep, worsen digestion, and make pain feel more intense. You might notice that your shoulders feel tight when you wake up, or that you clench your jaw while listening to the evening news. Perhaps you snap at your spouse over small things, like the way they load the dishwasher at 4 p.m. and then feel guilty afterward. This takes a toll not only on your body, but also on your relationships. Picture a man named Gerald, age 70, who retired from his job at the post office 3 years ago. At first, he enjoyed the slower pace. But then he started watching financial news every morning, worrying about his savings. He checks the headlines on his phone at least 6 times a day. He eats lunch alone at his kitchen table, staring at a screen filled with problems he cannot solve. His mind rarely rests, and his body responds with a tight chest and restless nights. You can't erase every worry, and this isn't about pretending life is perfect. But you can gently build pockets of calm into your days. After lunch, instead of turning on another news program, you might sit by the window for 10 minutes and simply watch the birds at your feeder. In the evening, after washing the dinner dishes, you might call a friend and talk about something other than health or politics. Some people find slow, deep breathing helpful. Try inhaling through your nose to a count of 4, holding for a count of 4, and exhaling through your mouth to a count of 6, repeating this a few times while you sit at the edge of your bed. If stress feels overwhelming, or if you notice signs of depression or anxiety, it's wise to speak with your doctor, a counselor, or a trusted spiritual leader. Asking for support is not a weakness. It's one more way of taking care of a body and mind that have carried you a long way. Another quiet habit that can shorten healthy life is putting off routine medical checkups and screenings. When you feel mostly okay, it's tempting to cancel an appointment because the weather is bad, or your ride fell through, or you'd simply rather stay home in your comfortable slippers. You might think, if something was truly wrong, I'd feel it. But many conditions that affect older adults, like high blood pressure, certain heart issues, and early diabetes, can progress for years with very few obvious signs. Skipping appointments can also mean missing out on small adjustments that could keep you stronger. Maybe your doctor would slightly change the dose of a medication because your readings have changed. Perhaps you would learn about a vaccine that can help protect you during the winter flu season, or a new physical therapy program to help with your balance. Without those visits, you might be walking around with risks you don't even know about. Consider a woman named Doris, age 75, who dislikes going to the clinic. The waiting room chairs are uncomfortable, and the parking lot is crowded. She hasn't seen her primary doctor in over 2 years. She tells herself she's fine because she can still do her own shopping at the grocery store on Main Street every Tuesday morning. But one day she feels dizzy while reaching for a heavy bag of flour on the top shelf. At the urgent care clinic, she learns her blood pressure has crept up significantly over time. To protect your future, think of preventive care as a regular part of life, like changing the oil in your car or checking the smoke detectors in your home once a year. Keep a small calendar on your refrigerator and write down upcoming appointments with a marker. If driving is difficult, ask a family member, a neighbor, or a local senior transportation service about rides. Let your doctor's office know if you feel anxious about visits. They may offer shorter appointments or schedule times that are less crowded. If you notice new symptoms, a cough that lasts longer than usual, a change in your vision, increased shortness of breath, don't brush them off as just getting older. Call the office and ask if they recommend a visit. Again, only your healthcare provider can tell you what's right for your situation, but staying connected to them gives you more tools to protect your health. Finally, there's a habit that doesn't always show up on a blood test, but it deeply affects how long and how well we live. Moving through the week without a sense of purpose. Retirement, changes in family roles, or the loss of loved ones can leave long stretches of open time. At first, that might feel like a welcome rest. But over months or years, days without direction can start to blend together. You wake up on Monday, pour your coffee at 7 a.m., and realize you have no particular reason to go outside or speak with anyone. When the mind and heart lose a sense of purpose, energy often follows. You might find it harder to get dressed before noon, or you may stay in your night clothes until the afternoon without really meaning to. Television can fill the silence, but when you turn it off at 10 p.m., you might feel an ache that has nothing to do with your joints. It's a feeling of what am I here for now? This quiet emptiness can increase the risk of depression, reduce motivation to move, and indirectly shorten life by making healthy habits feel less worthwhile. Imagine a man named Calvin, age 81, who spent 40 years as a school bus driver. He loved greeting the children every weekday at 6:30 in the morning and hearing their stories about spelling tests and soccer games. After he retired, the early alarm stopped. The first year felt like a vacation, but by the third year, he found himself sleeping later and later, eating breakfast alone at 10 a.m., and spending most of the day staring at daytime television. He began to feel old in a way he never had before. Finding new purpose doesn't have to mean starting a big project. It can be as simple as choosing one small thing each day that matters to you. On Monday, you might decide to bake a loaf of banana bread and wrap half of it to deliver to a neighbor. On Wednesday, you might plan to call your granddaughter at 4 p.m. to hear about her college classes. On Friday, you could volunteer for 2 hours at your local library, shelving books, or helping children pick stories. If mobility is limited, you can still offer encouragement and wisdom by phone, by letter, or even by email if you enjoy technology. Faith communities, community centers, and local clubs often welcome older adults who want to help, even in simple ways like greeting people at the door or folding newsletters. As always, check with your healthcare provider if you're thinking of adding any new physical activities, like regular walking groups or volunteer tasks that involve lifting or standing. The goal is not to exhaust yourself, but to give your days shape, meaning, and connection. When you have a reason to look forward to Thursday afternoon, getting out of bed on Thursday morning feels different. We've covered a lot of ground together. Maybe you recognized yourself in long stretches of sitting, in a light and repetitive diet, in skipped checkups, or in quiet days without much structure. Maybe you saw your spouse, a sibling, or a friend in some of these examples. Remember, none of this is about blame. All of these habits make sense in the moment. They help us feel comfortable, safe, or less overwhelmed. But small, thoughtful changes, made slowly and with support, can protect the years ahead. So I'd like to ask you, which one of these ideas feels most important for you right now? Is it standing up a little more often during the day? Drinking an extra glass of water between breakfast and lunch? Calling to schedule that checkup you've delayed since last spring? Or maybe choosing one small activity this week that gives your day a sense of purpose? If you're comfortable sharing, tell me in the comments what you plan to try over the next 7 days. Your answer might encourage someone else who reads it. And if you learned something helpful or simply felt understood today, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. My goal is to walk alongside you with calm, practical guidance for life after 60, so you can stay as strong, steady, and hopeful as possible in the years to come.